we're going to sojourn down into the losers bracket, and this is a pretty familiar face to me. This is,
Ooh, all
of
right,
course,
BlazingPasta.
the homie from No Pause Tournaments, BlazingPasta, ranked in Philadelphia, and not a bad Wi-Fi player either. He's won a few of these Wi-Fi brackets as well. Versus FuerzaDON. You know a thing or two about a local Shulk, but I'm not sure about how local this dude is.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say local for me, but I would say this matchup is very familiar nightmare territory. Shulk can be devastating for Peach to fight in all sorts of ways. Character's a nightmare to combo, nightmare to pressure at the ledge, terrible to land on, as we're already seeing in motion from FuerzaDON. But BlazingPasta is not to be slept on, not to be trifled with. What I'm looking forward to most, Stu, is seeing how Pasta is going to be able to adjust his play based off of the arts changes from FuerzaDON. We've already seen very rapid amount of arts shifting, and it's going to affect the combo game and, in general, any of the moves of value that Pasta has. But FuerzaDON already opening up with First Blood.
Yeah. FuerzaDON knowing where, reading that option perfectly, drifting back and catching him with the back air. And BlazingPasta is going to suffer first blood drawn here in this best of three clip. A little scoop up by BlazingPasta, and this first stock well within reach. But yeah, FuerzaDON, this Shulk was turns out from Mexico. I did look it up, so not quite local, but I just knew that local Shulk was a meme, and I thought that you'd appreciate it. But you know, here we are.
Oh, I liked it. I liked it.
Okay.
Honestly, it's one of the things I love best about DNA. The fact that travel really, talent really comes from far and wide. For this particular end of the Tri-State weeklies, I love seeing it. And you know, this may be subject to opinion, whatnot, but I think Shulk is a really interesting character to watch just for the sake of how characters have to adjust to how they play based off the arts. You have to adjust your combo game if Buster's around. You have to adjust it if Shield's around. You have to be mindful of Smash. Your edge guarding gets completely altered with Jump. And controlling base and stage is so much more difficult with speed. All these little, I wouldn't even say the little, just all these nuances of Shulk force characters out of their comfort zone so heavily that it always shows, how creative the player is fighting against the Shulk, but of course, how creative the Shulk is themselves to be able to control the pace of the match so heavily. And that's kind of what we're seeing here in this game one.
Yeah, the only thing that I can imagine is that you're not going to be seeing a whole lot of the Buster art, just because you know how much Peach likes their combo game, and yeah, that is the one time where you want to be swinging on a Shulk, it seems like, or at least that's just, they are going to try to accumulate a little bit of damage, but I would think that trying to keep Peach at bay as much as possible is going to be the key in this particular one. Gets the grab, going to try to maintain advantage state, and making it back, not ready for the swing up on the ledge, and still not killing at 136%. BlazingPasta struggling to find answers right now, and eventually the real estate's going to run out, Hangman.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good call from FuerzaDON.
Yeah, I mean, they, the thing is that BlazingPasta knew that FuerzaDON was going to swing, but maybe didn't call swinging twice, and that's, therein lies the rub, doesn't it?
Yeah, you actually brought up a really key part of this matchup right before the game one had ended, and that was the notion of Shulk trying to keep Peach at bay. One of the great things about Shulk, at least compared to the other sortie characters in Smash, he has amazing range off of his normals. It's not that big of a commitment for him to be able to control the space in the air. We're seeing plenty of forward air, plenty of nair, even a good amount of back air that's being very well articulated from FuerzaDON. But in general, it's just, this guy has a very strong idea of how to keep his opponent at bay and also make his opponent struggle to land. And when you have a Peach like BlazingPasta, who's very comfortable moving from the air to ground to start combo, all of a sudden you got a really big shakeup ahead of us.
Yeah, it's a tough proposition for BlazingPasta, to say the very least. I don't know if we're going to see a character switch, but yeah, that Peach, it's taken on Shulks in the past and come out on top, whether offline or online. So perhaps a stage switch is what the doctor ordered, and we're going to see exactly the prescribed location, and apparently it is Pokemon Stadium 2. to game number 2.
All right. I like the more laterally oriented play because it's going to force more of a direct approach from FuerzaDON as opposed to the more reactionary play that we saw in game 1. But it's, not out of the realms of possibility for Shulk to approach on this stage comfortably either. I already see the immediate switch from speed art, and we're going to see plenty of speed art as this match goes on.
That could very well be the case, and I can only imagine that you're right, just because you want to close down the space as much as possible. I mean, you don't need to get in super close. You can sort of just keep poking away with those back airs, and certainly that nair that we saw on those last 2 interactions alone. But yeah, BlazingPasta, there's going to be a lot of QTEs basically with how hard you can, how quickly you can release that shield button and try to get those Wi-Fi parries, which are infamously tough. However, not impossible. We have seen some of the best pull it off, and even though that particular maneuver is going to miss, the grab by BlazingPasta is going to come through and follow through, and this is striking distance for BlazingPasta. What's the big adjustment that you're seeing? I'm seeing a lot more grabbing, and really FuerzaDON being allowed to get grabbed just a little bit more.
Yeah, in general, it's just Pasta's ready to play a lot more of a close quarters game. Previously, we saw him trying to react and control airspace. That wasn't working. Here, Pasta's staying much more to the ground, much more with trying to just pressure the shield. And I like this adjustment of play because FuerzaDON striking with air slash out of shield has not worked out for him the few times we have seen it. Ooh, and Dada turned up, putting in the work right there. Not going to kill just yet thanks to the shield art, but back air from out deep is going to get it done.
Oh, that's what happens when you dot your I's, and that's what happens when you cross Pasta. You get your stock taken. However, that's a good use of the jump and going all the way up to take out the first stock of BlazingPasta. We are even at 2 stocks apiece, but BlazingPasta, the combo game, coming through in spades for the ace of no pause tournaments with the Peach.
Like, regardless of how comfortable either of these two are in this matchup, it's always funny to see Shulk versus Peach, because I feel like this Shulk is, like, fundamentally the kind of character that just spits in the eye of what every Peach wants to go for. Because every art just has something to say about Peach's strong suits that make her such a good character in this game. And, like, we're even seeing it in bits and pieces throughout this set. Multiple times FuerzaDON interrupting combos that Pasta has for him, whether it's from switching to shield art or even switching to smash art. Because, keep in mind, if you're not in danger of dying, taking that more knockback to get yourself out of this pressure is a really good move.
And I definitely see your point. No, BlazingPasta certainly has something to say about that, and they will talk with their fists as they get FuerzaDON over to 1 stock apiece, though FuerzaDON immediately matches it. I am curious about your opinion on something, because we do see a lot of people. I mean, the entire game's life cycle, we've been saying, oh yeah, Shulk is secretly top 10, and yet we never really saw people picking up Shulk or using them at the highest level. What is the reason for that in your assessment?
I think it's because Shulk is the kind of character that requires a lot to learn. Like, it does not have a particularly welcoming skill floor, and on top of that, Shulk's kit does require a certain deft hand for being creative with. Like you can't just, like, look at this character and see a straight game plan. You have to, like, figure out how your opponent wants to play. You have to be very well attuned to knowing specific matchups. You have to do a lot of homework. You have to know the ins and outs of this character and be able to apply multiple game plans based off of how your opponent's going to adapt. There's a lot going on there. And at the top level of play, there's maybe, like, a single-digit amount of Shulks. It takes a lot of effort to get that character going. But, they're not invincible. Pasta's staying alive, taking that game too.
No, I mean,
this character.
You might have a Minato, but Peach has the crown, and you are going to go to the Blast Zone. So says the Divine Mandate. And so, we are going to game number 3, BlazingPasta, tying this thing up at 1. And this is a neat little combo that I think you were. Oh no, this is the jump art usage that I think commented on. We're going to be seeing that combo that carried them across the stage at some point. Never mind. That was just that was a sick move. Don't get me wrong, but
just get the kill, spill the blood. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, but then again, it was the Minato is a fierce weapon, but I mean, not nearly as fierce as that dot-eye turn wound up being. And it was one of the things, not just that one, but multiple others that wound up being the leverage that BlazingPasta needed, and knowing exactly how to follow up and making sure that that Fuerza never got their feet planted on the ground after that.
Yeah, one of the good things about Shulk is Shulk's like level of consistency for controlling neutral, as far as like taking momentum into his favor, keeping it steady. If you have an opponent who's going to be extremely stop and go and like high highs, low lows when it comes to like that speed of control, it's going to interrupt how well Shulk can control that match. And in that game 2 is what we really saw from Pasta, where we either saw tons of damage, stage control getting completely snatched away into his favor, or just sort of trying to hang around on the ledges and high in the sky as best as he can. And while FuerzaDON was able to respond really well in those instances, there really wasn't a point in game 2 where he was able to like keep a confident lead and make it steady. Like Pasta just kept on like fighting tooth and nail throughout it, and it paid off.
Yeah, and that's tenacity definitely pays off. They teach you a little something about that when you come from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, if I do say so myself. But there's going to be a game number 3 situation. The FuerzaDON's counter pick might just be going back to small battlefield. No, instead, they're going to step right into the octagon. This is Smashville, and I can tell you, you better learn how to play on Smashville if you come from this particular part of the world. But FuerzaDON brought him here for a reason.
Yeah, that reason's going to be the fact that Shulk can control the stage super easily, whether it's like committing to a jump and controlling the air, or just running from one end of the base plat to another. And even being able to shark the lone plat of Smashville, there's so many opportunities for Shulk to be able to just maintain the lead if he establishes one. But that's kind of a big if right now, because Pasta came out swinging for this game 3.
Yeah, and was being made to guess as to what their approaches would be. BlazingPasta showing an inclination to press buttons in the face of FuerzaDON, saying, yes, your Nair might control 40% of the stage, but that does not mean I am scared of you. I've had to fight Beast Zard in doubles on this stage. Are you kidding me? And this is now what they're going to have to deal with, is not being able to work with all the stage that they want, but God help you if they get you in the death throes of those turn-up combos.
Yo, Mans is really out here trying to camp from ledge to ledge against Shulk. I definitely respect the hustle. It's difficult doing, especially considering you're one aerial away from death, but I actually do like this approach from Pasta, just sort of force out some sort of button from FuerzaDON. But unfortunately, there's plenty of buttons to be pressed, and a good one right there, switching to the jump art, hunt down the kill, and the immediate switch to shield. I like it, considering like you expect Pasta to be really fast here. You expect him to just go in for it, but wasn't quite what had come about. And because of that, FuerzaDON seems to be eating a bit more damage, might be on the edge of a stock, depending on when this speed art runs out.
See, my question is, FuerzaDON utilizing that jump art to get those stocks, they wound up doing it to pretty decent effect in those games 2 and now game 3 now. I've said now a few times, excuse me. Dash Attack is going to take the first stock from FuerzaDON, and my question is are they trying to get BlazingPasta to commit to options before they even get close to ledge, so that they just wind up blowing everything and FuerzaDON doesn't have to make such a hard commitment with the jump art? Or is this just what FuerzaDON's strategy going to be? Like, I know that you're not going to do anything off of the ledge, so I'm just going to jump up and take the stock, and there's nothing that you can do about it.
I think it's one of these things where it's like Shulk has that ability to be able to like read accordingly to the situation and react with very little commitment. Because if Pasta's forced into a situation where he's got to recover super high, or if he opts to sort of hover around towards the ceiling blast zone, at any point FuerzaDON can just swap on that jump art and get in the skies and fight him, and he can react much faster than Peach can, because he can get up there really quick. Peach not really getting back to the stage too quick, nor is she moving the air particularly swiftly. And then if Pasta decides to go for the mix-up and go for a more lateral or potentially low recovery, well, then FuerzaDON just switches to any of the other arts, or stays neutral. Like
and you were talking about the things that Peach has that makes her so good, and well, FuerzaDON just takes that away. It's the fact that Peach's aerials control the skies so well, and all you got to do is Nair to just sort of take that away from the princess. And now BlazingPasta in the throes of FuerzaDON, looking for the finishing blow here, and I'm not even sure they've taken damage this stock, Hangman.
Yeah, no, this is amazing out the gate for the third stock here. Like, FuerzaDON had complete control of the situation, but Pasta's going to be stealing it right on back. He misses his opportunity with the forward air, a bit of a shame. But it's... I don't know. I don't want to call it too far gone because like I've seen Pasta make comebacks like this before, but FuerzaDON's had like such good decision-making skills when it comes to like when to approach and with what resources. Like committing with a short hop aerial is one of the more dangerous things that Shulk can go for. Now I know that seems like a pretty innocuous statement given the fact that like this dude is short hopping aerials everywhere, but like once he's in the air and if he's committed to a particular art, then Peach has plenty of opportunity to punish. Just there, it's all about the whiff punishing. Because, yeah, he's going to be taking up plenty of space when he's swinging, but the sword's got to stop eventually.
Oh, that's going to be...
Goes the game.
Yeah, that is it. The JV2 and BlazingPasta going down to El Shulk Local. FuerzaDON moving on into loser's side top 8. BlazingPasta will bow out at this time.
It was a valiant effort, especially given the adjustments that we saw throughout games 2 and 3 from Pasta, but FuerzaDON just had such confident control of how to bring this game across all 3 games. Like, this is a very well-practiced Shulk. You can tell, at least just from like when the arts are being utilized to how well they're being saved, because at no point did it seem like FuerzaDON was really struggling without any particular art. Like, Buster was there when he needed it. Jump was there when he needed it. He was never in danger whenever he was using Smash. I think there may have been one stock, and it was probably the one stock we just saw here in Game 3, where Pasta secured a forward air off of Smash Art. But even then, it's like, he was chilling. Honestly, Mans did not look like he had a care in the world. It didn't even look like he was fighting one of Philly's best. But, them's the breaks.
Yeah, absolutely, and it really just came down to, I mean, the last stock that we just saw, Hangman, it ended just how it began. It was FuerzaDON calling out exactly where BlazingPasta was going to be with their back air. You caught BlazingPasta holding in just a little too hard, and there you go. You point out where they're going to be, and you get rewarded with it with a spot in loser's side top 8. So well done to FuerzaDON, and a learning experience perhaps for BlazingPasta. We'll have to see how they fare in brackets in the future, and certainly you might be doing so right here on twitch.tv/MasterhandGaming.